reading vlog. I'm currently in the middle of reading 16 books, and I do read multiple books at the same time, but 16 is a lot even for me. So in this vlog I am going to try to finish as many of the books as I can so that my mental space can clear up a little bit. So one of the books I'm reading is Here One Moment by Liane Moriarty. So I'm listening to this on audio through BorrowBox, and I currently have to do a little bit of laundry folding, so I'm going to put that on while I put away some of this laundry. I do have way more laundry than this, so I might do this a couple of times today. So far there's a mysterious woman on a plane, and I think from the blurb she's gonna tell a whole bunch of people when they're gonna die. Sorry if you can hear my dog tippy tapping. Do you want to see him? Hello. What you doing? Come on.
Heard Jimmy choose. Leo's younger sister said, "Sure, Mum, we'll do that," while mouthing "no way" at Leo and pointing at her own feet.
What you doing? I know. They got a haircut yesterday, so they're a bit cold. Oh my goodness. She's a bull. Hello. Also, I'm buddy reading this book with my friend, so I probably won't finish this one in this video because I am reading this with her, but she has gotten a little bit ahead of me. So I think I'm on chapter, I think this is chapter 15 or something. Yeah, chapter 15, and I think she said she finished chapter 16. So, hi buddy. So I'm gonna do a bit of catch up and see if I can get caught up to her where she's at. Okay, I just had to pause to show you guys this quote. It's so cute. So it says, "They're a pair of golden retrievers, whatever can you mean? Oh, you know, every partnership needs a wolf and a golden retriever," she explained. "In my marriage, I'm the wolf and Tobias is the retriever. Sweet, uncynical, and bless him, a little bit stupid. Two wolves in one marriage can be trouble, but two retrievers, that's a recipe for disaster." I love like the wolf and golden retriever. That's super cute. Let me know which one you are in your relationship. I think we both toggle between the two. But lately I am a bit more grumpy. So does that make me the wolf / black cat? Although he thinks he's the wolf, so.
Come all the way up, tabletop position. Check in with your spine again by lifting the navel up, lengthening the crown of the head forward. Then tug the shoulders back a little bit more. When you're ready, inhale.
Who's burning? Not yet.
You think this one or this one? Kino. So I finished reading Belladonna, and I did listen to this one on audio because I really am enjoying the narrators of this series. So if you haven't heard of Belladonna before, this is like a historical, gothic, little bit of, I guess, fantasy or fabulism in there, maybe like mythology, I'm not sure, but it's about a girl who can see and talk to death. So death is like a person in this. So I'll read you the blurb. Your name is no curse, little bird. I just like the taste of it. Okay, that's one of my favorite lines in the book. I didn't actually realize this was on the blurb until just now, but that's a quote from Death. Orphaned as a child, Signa Farrow has been raised by a string of guardians, each more interested in her wealth than her well-being, and each has met an untimely end. Her only remaining relatives are the elusive Hawthorns, an eccentric family living at Thorn Grove, an estate both glittering and gloomy. When a restless spirit appears claiming she was poisoned, Signa realizes the Hawthorns could be in grave danger and enlists the help of a surly stable boy to hunt down the killer. But Signa's best chance of uncovering the murderer is an alliance with Death himself, and as the mystery unfolds, Signa realizes their growing connection may be more irresistible than she dared imagine. So I really liked this book, and I'm so glad that I did, because I really wanted to like it as well, and I think I put off reading it because I was scared that I wouldn't like it. And honestly, that's the case for so many of the books on my shelves. I own them because I want to love them, but I'm not sure if I will. So I'm very, very pleased that I did like this one. And that is bringing my currently reading down from 16 to 15. But it might increase to 16 because I want to pick up the next book immediately. So I do own a copy of that one as well. and I'm a bit annoyed that I don't own it in the same size as this one. So I might have to do something about that. So this is Foxglove, and this is another deliciously deadly gothic romance. And I'm enjoying this series so much that I have even created a playlist for it. So if you haven't seen that video, please check it out and read this series. It's so good. And check out the audiobook. I'm pretty sure that the person who's narrating this series also narrated Divine Rivals. And if you like Divine Rivals, you might enjoy this because both of them are kind of historical fiction but with like a fantasy element. And I think I have found like one of the perfect genres for me, like gothic, historical, bit of magic. I love it. It's just so many of the things that I love. So yeah, I'm very excited to read this one, but I don't know whether I will be reading this for this vlog. I might put this one on like pause until I actually read and finish some of the other books I'm in the middle of. But she's so pretty. Okay. Now let's take a look at my list and see what else I actually do need to finish. So I did read from 2 other books today. So okay, I'll show you my list since I don't think I've actually done that yet. But we have got Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is a non-fiction book about finance. We've got Lies and Weddings, which is the sequel to Sex and Vanity, which I read in a previous vlog. So that's a duology by Kevin Kwan, who is the author of Crazy Rich Asians. And then I'm also reading Here One Moment by Leanne Moriarty. So she's the author of Big Little Lies, 9 Perfect Strangers, Apples Never Fall, like all of those books. And I'm trying to listen to all of her books on audio from my library. I randomly decided to do that last month because Big Little Lies had been on my TBR since I started Goodreads. It was probably one of the oldest books, if not the oldest standalone book on my TBR. So I decided to finally read that. And now I'm accidentally on a Leanne Moriarty kick. So there we go. Then I'm also reading Eldest, which is the second book in the Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. So this is a reread. I'm currently reading this with my partner. Then I have this stack over here. Okay, let's look at all of these. So Jane Austen's Society is a book that I'm reading for my Read It or Weed It. So I was supposed to finish this in my last vlog for that, but it has spilled over, so I need to finish this one. Similarly, City for Girls. City for Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert is kind of in the same boat. I started this as part of my Read It or Read It, and I'm still in the middle of it, have not finished it yet. So I kind of have to finish these 2 soon, and I really want to finish Eldest because my partner is reading ahead of me. He's I'm in his dust with that. I'm reading Silverborn, which is the 4th book in the Nevermore series, and I'm doing a buddy read with my friend with this one, and I'm pretty sure I'm slightly ahead of her, so I'm just gonna wait for her to let me know again when I should read some of this, so I may or may not read from this one in here. I am on the 2nd book in the Sarki Omnibus collection, so Sarki sa Vakansie, and I don't know whether I've actually really started that one. So maybe tonight I'll read at least 1 or 2 chapters of this one. So that's on my goal. And then I need to decide whether I want to read some of these guys. The last time I picked this one up, I was getting a bit bored and I was like feeling maybe like I want to DNF it. So maybe I should give this one another try today since I'm in a slightly more awake, better mood to see if I do actually want to DNF it. So I'll try this one. And then I do want to read more of Eldest. Okay, but I'll tell you what else we're in the middle of. Queen of Shadows, which is the 4th or 5th Throne of Glass book, depending on how you look at it. Have started that one. I'm like 9% into it, but I haven't actually picked it up again in a little while. And The White Queen by Philippa Gregory. I'm trying to read all of her books as well, but I'm making super slow progress with that one. So I'm 16% into it, but I have found the audiobook for that one recently, so I might listen to the audio of that just to try to speed things up a little bit. Then I've got a couple, actually 3 French books that I'm in the middle of. So The Dagobert et son grand-père, that I'm reading with my partner, so that book is at his house. So if I do see him this weekend, we might read a little bit more into that one. And I also think I need to update my page count for that one because I don't think it's accurate. I'm trying to read Twilight in French, but I haven't picked that one up in a while either. So I don't think I've made much progress. And then I keep having to like go back and restart, which I should just stop doing that and just keep reading it. There's a French grammar for beginners textbook that I'm working my way through. I haven't picked that one up in a little while yet either. So maybe I should do some vlogs where I read in French and speak in French. What would you guys think about that? Because I do need to practice that, and I do also speak Afrikaans fluently, so maybe I can do some like languagey type vlogs and content on this channel, which I haven't done in a while. So that's an option to try to motivate myself to get to that more, because I think I am focusing quite a bit on the TBR0 and then books that are easy to read, that I haven't really been prioritizing my language as much. Then The Bedside Companion for Book Lovers. So that's like a collection of quotes, and you're supposed to read like 1 entry a day from that book. I have that one in my study, and I haven't read from that one in a while. So I might pick that one up and try to read a bit more of that in this video. And then The Hobbit, I'm reading that one with my partner, so I may or may not read from that, depending on what we end up doing. So out of the 15, there are 10 that I could finish, and probably should. I keep neglecting the ones that have been on here the longest, really, so I should kind of work my way from the bottom up and read some of the books that I've been in the middle of for longer. So I think what I'll do is, there are 3 that I really want to finish so that I can get them done. And so that's Eldest and the Jane Austen Society and City of Girls. So these are going to be my priority for the time being, along with some of the books that have been on here for quite a long time. I do also have 2 library books. So there's The Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Here One Moment. So it's chaos. I don't know. It's like chaotic. But I guess if I just read instead of rambling, I could probably get a lot more done. So I'm gonna go have a shower, so then I can do a bit of reading. That sounds like a plan. Okay. Hi. I realized it's been probably a few days since I updated the vlog, so I thought I would let you guys know what I've been up to. I did finish reading Belladonna. I can't remember if I told you that, but I did love it. I loved it so much that I made a whole reading playlist for it. So yeah, very excited to read the next books, but I probably should wait until I actually finish this challenge. And then I also finished reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which was a library book, and that one was another great read, and I'm so glad that I read it. I've been making progress with some other books as well. I ended up finding the audiobook for City of Girls, so I'm on page 276 of that one now, which is nearing the end, and I'm still enjoying it. I'm glad I found the audio because I'm picking up the pace with this and I can listen to it in the car. And then the Jane Austen Society, I read a bit more, and I was kind of debating DNFing just because I don't know whether I would reread this story, but I decided I do still want to finish it. So with that one, I'm now on page 186. So that's over halfway. So that's pretty good progress with both of these, and I'm hopeful that I can finish them pretty soon. And then I've also been making more progress on some of my other books, specifically audio. So I was listening to The White Queen by Philippa Gregory. I do also have it on my Kobo, but I think again for that the audiobook of this is motivating me to get through it a bit faster, so that's been good. And I'm also almost done with Here One Moment. I think I'm like 70% of the way through that one. So we're looking good, making progress. I feel like I'm out of my reading slump, which is good. I don't know, do you guys feel a bit different towards reading and your general hobbies depending on the time of the month, or is it just me? Also, look how long my hair has gotten. I always wanted long hair. So in high school, I was like, I'm going to grow my hair to my tailbone when I'm older, and I always wanted Merida hair. And I think I have succeeded. And I'm so happy. So, yeah, okay. I need to get ready for work now. Okay, bye. Hello. It's been a minute since I have updated y'all, but okay, so I finished Here One Moment, but actually that book finished me. I was absolutely bawling, crying my eyes out. This is, I think it was the 2024 release by Liane Moriarty, so she's the same person who wrote Big Little Lies, and oh my gosh, this book was fantastic. I gave it 5 stars, but it genuinely ruined me. I should have recorded myself, but I would not have been able to say anything because I was honestly just, I was crying my heart out, okay? Because it was sad and it was happy, and I just loved how she tied it all up together. And I know like there's fortune telling in it, and I know like because it's like a fictitious book, obviously it's not real, but just the way it was written was just so good, and it tied up so well. It's one of my favorites now of the year, maybe of all time, I don't know. It just, and I want to read everything that Liane has ever written now. And also in the meantime, it's Monday today, but I forgot to take you guys with me when I went away this weekend, so I wasn't able to actually remember to update you. But we played some board games, we played some Cluedo, and a whole bunch of my library holds came through. So I need to do a new count of how many books I'm actually in the middle of. I started reading All Systems Red yesterday, but I did finish it today. So that one's going on the list and then off. So, but let's just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we're at 15 books. Okay, I'm gonna mark All Systems Red as finished. Like that one. I think that's gonna be a 3-star right now, but I might have to reread it since I'm pretty sure I fell asleep a couple times while listening to it yesterday, which is my bad. It's totally my bad. Now we're down to 14 because I'm counting Foxglove. I said I wasn't going to count it, but I started it, so technically I'm in the middle of it, so it's going on there. Okay, and another library hold, actually 2. How long is this video gonna continue? But I've been wanting to read Two Can Play for quite a while now. Okay, so I can return my loan for All Systems Red, manage loan. 10 people are waiting for this, so I'm gonna return that one early. We were listening to that one in the car. So this one's about like an android who, I think he kind of starts getting some form of emotions. He calls himself Murderbot. I don't know if I like listening to it on audio. I might have to find the ebook and actually read it physically, because it was a little bit difficult to keep track of like the character names because they're weird characters, but I think I got the gist of it. Okay, The other loan that came through was The Business Bible by Victoria Devine, or Divine, Victoria Divine, The Business Bible. So that's about starting your own business. This is actually one that I don't know if I'm going to read on audio. There are some non-fictions that I do like listening to the audiobook of, but for example, She's on the Money, which is also by the same author, which coincidentally I just happen to have with me. If you can see here, I've got so many of the pages like folded down, and I'm pretty sure I highlighted some things. Yeah, so I like annotating. Oh my gosh, I've got hiccups. Oh my goodness. Okay, I really do like annotating non-fiction recently, and dog-earing and leaving myself notes, highlighting. So I don't know if I want, oh my gosh, the hiccups. I don't know if I want to listen to that one on audio, as I was saying. So I'm not sure whether I want to continue listening to The Business Bible. Yeah, The Business Bible. I don't know if I want to listen to this one on audio or if I would rather get a physical copy. I'm still kind of in the introductory phases, so I'll see how I feel, but I'm probably leaning towards getting a copy that I can annotate. And then my hold for Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood is in, finally. Oh my gosh, I think I placed this hold probably like 6 months ago. It was one of the very first holds that I placed because I don't want to listen to it on Audible since it's an Audible original. But it is available in libraries, if you guys didn't know that. And my battery is flashing for this, so I'm gonna wrap it up, but I'm pretty sure that's now gonna bring my number back to 15 because I just had it down to 14. Now it's back up to 15, maybe 16 if I'm gonna count The Business Bible. So I'm gonna read a bit, charge the camcorder, and update you later. Hello. I thought I'd update you guys since it's the next morning and I've charged you. So hi, you're fine again, fully charged. I'm in the middle of getting ready for work and listening to Two Can Play because, like I said, that came through as a hold on my library. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I actually am a game design teacher. Like, I studied computer science, so I know a bit of programming things, and some of the stuff they've said is a little bit like cringe, but anyway. In other news, I finished the Jane Austen Society last night, so I can remove this bookmark, which is not actually a bookmark. This is like one of those things that go around journals when you buy them. I finished the Jane Austen Society, and the last 30 pages were actually really, really good. Like, the whole book was kind of like, it's kind of interesting, kind of boring, not a ton happening, but I did really like the ending. I liked how it ended, so I think ultimately holding out and finishing it was worthwhile, and it's kind of grown on me. I might keep it. I was considering DNFing it. Yeah, okay, 14 books we're in the middle of. There's one that I haven't actually picked up in a while, which is Bedtime Stories for Bedside Companion for Book Lovers, which you're supposed to read one of these every day, and I have not been reading it like that at all. But I might take it out from where it has been and put it next to my bed so I can actually remember to read from it. It's really beautiful. I got it for my birthday one year. Okay, yeah, it's time to get ready for work. I feel like I should take you guys to work with me so I can update you in the car when I read my audiobooks. So come to work with me. Hello. Just got home and I also just finished reading Two Can Play, so I'm gonna mark that as read on Goodreads. And I remembered to take you guys in the car with me. Didn't end up updating at work, but that's okay. So, okay. I pretty much I think it's gonna be, it's a 4-star. It was good. But I really want her to write the actual book series that she talks about in this book. So they are making a video game based on a 5-book series, and I want to read those books. And you guys know how like Rainbow Rowell, the author of Fangirl, also wrote Carry On, which is a book that is referenced in Fangirl. Like I really want this to happen, so I'm gonna write that in my review. But okay, let's see, how many books am I in the middle of now? Let's do a quick count. 13. Okay, 13. That's good. I'm thinking if I can get this to be under 10, I'll be happy, and then I can maybe wrap up the vlog for now. But I'm also in the middle of quite a few series, so as soon as I finish the book and start the next book, it's gonna go back up again. But maybe then I should just start like a finishing books in series video instead. Okay, what can I finish next? Probably City of Girls, because I'm like 73% done with that one. Okay, I want to make some more progress with the Bedside Companion for book lovers. The rest are all in series. I think so far I've finished like mostly standalone books. Alright, I'll let you guys know, but yeah. My main goal is to just finish City of Girls this week, and I think I can do that because I found the audiobook of that, so I'm listening to that on BorrowBox. And then maybe I'll wrap up this vlog and then start another vlog where I'm like continuing series I'm in the middle of, because all the other books I'm reading are part of a series, and that would make more sense. Let's do it. I'm gonna go inside and carry on listening to City of Girls. I've also recently heard some not so great things about Elizabeth Gilbert's latest book. Like a video popped up, so that was interesting. Let me know if you've heard any of the controversy. I haven't read her new book yet, but I am interested since my favorite book of hers so far has been Eat, Pray, Love, which is her non-fiction, and City of Girls is her first fiction that I'm reading, and I'm not loving it. I'm enjoying it, but I don't know. I don't really love any of the characters very much. It's like a fun story, but honestly I don't care that much, and I probably would have been fine if I never read this book. It's not like changing my life or anything like that, and it's probably going to end up being like a 3-star at this stage, so I kind of just want to get it done, really. Okay, let's go do that. I managed to finish reading The City of Girls, which I listened to the last probably half or so on audio. I did find the audiobook in my library. It was on BorrowBox, not on Libby, so thanks library. It was like a little bit boring, sometimes interesting, sometimes boring. I did quite like the ending though, but I think overall this is probably going to be a 3-star for me. I did not love this as much as I loved other books by Elizabeth Gilbert, but the other books I have read have been non-fiction, so this is her first like fiction book that I have read from her. But I am glad that I read it. It's a 1940s historical fiction, very interesting. I did consider DNFing a time or two, but honestly I do think that is a little bit because I am not used to reading historical fiction much anymore. Yeah, I should read more of them, but I think it is a little bit because they're not super popular on the internet, or at least not in the circles of the internet where I am in. I think the ones that people talk about the most are the Kristen Hanna books, so The Nightingale. I do own that and a couple other books by Kristen Hanna, so I might read them in future. And that would be interesting to compare to a really popular historical fiction compared to a couple that not many people talk about, so that I can determine whether I'm just not really interested in historical fiction that much, or whether this just wasn't a very interesting historical fiction. If you've read this one, let me know down below. And if you have watched up to here, what emoji can we put? I don't know what my favorite book was that I read in this video, and honestly I am blanking a little bit on the other books that I read because I am thinking about all the marking I have to do before Friday. So let's just put anything that reminds you of New York or the cover of this book. So we've got water, they look like they're on the beach, so anything beachy, bikini. It's springtime here, so maybe something flowery. The Jane Austen Society did have some flowers on the cover. So yeah, maybe that, maybe a rose or some flowers for this one. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so thank you so very much for watching, and I'm super proud of myself for finally finishing these 2 books. Oh my gosh, and a few other books as well. My books read has gone down to 12. That is pretty good. Okay, I think we started at like 15 or 16 and we're down to 12. I definitely read at least 4 or 5 books. I have hiccups again. I definitely read at least 4 or 5 books in this video, so that's pretty great progress. And I might immediately start filming another video where I try to read some of these other books because they're all part of series. Okay. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Keep reading, Inklings. Bye!